Hello and welcome, my friends. Happy Monday and welcome to Mercury Retrograde. Garfield was really right. Mondays suck sometimes. This is going to be an interesting Monday as we are stepping into Mercury in retrograde. And what this means is that visually, when we look at the planet orbiting the Earth or orbiting the sun from Earth, it looks like the planet Mercury is going backwards rather than forwards around its normal orbit. It is a visual illusion. It does bring in energy and energy disruption. So Mercury is the planet of communication. So what are we having disruption in? Communication. Not only interpersonally, but technologically as well. So this is why over the next 3.5 weeks, it can be really challenging for people. We're adding in some kind of flavor shots, if you will, because we're in Sagittarius, which is a fire energy. And then we're also in the holiday energy, which adds in its own little zippy shots. Remember, this too shall pass, and that we've gotten through this before and we've gotten through worse. Sometimes the energies really push and pull us. We can be victorious and overcome them when we use our tools and we use our head. The deck I have here today is the Wild Unknown Tarot. It is very, well, it has that high contrast, very kind of a conflictual, intense energy. And I find it works really well with the retrograde. And then to cool and soothe, I have the Chakra Wisdom Oracle because, yeah, we'll need that color. We'll need that soothing. So let's look at this. Let's look at what we can expect from Mercury in retrograde. And because it is a reading for the next 3.5 weeks, it's going to take in all the different flavors, all the different spices, if you will, because we are dealing with a lot. Anytime you have a personal planet go into retrograde during a fire sign, it adds that spark, if you will. I won't lie. When we have Mercury in retrograde during an air sign, it just adds a lot of intensity to things because we are dealing with the communication. It's a lot. It'd be a lot. Now, to add to the fun, because we do have the fire sign, we do have the holidays on Thursday next week. Mars is going into retrograde. The second, well, not the second, it is the second personal planet to go into retrograde. The only one that's not in retrograde, we have 3 personal planets, is Venus. These impact us the most because they're personal feelings. Mars is aggression, Venus is love, Mercury is communication. So we have the frustration and anger in a fire sign coming in next week, and then we have the communication to add in, plus the holidays. So like I said, there's a lot of spiciness happening. I like the flavor shot. That's really what it is. All right, so we're starting off with the Mother of Cups, the Mother of, the Queen of Cups, the World in reversal. This is the 8 of Wands in reversal, and it's not surprising to see these reversals. The 7 of Swords in reversal. Gonna do a clean sweep. The Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. Nope, you managed to get 1 upright. Not that it was a competition or contest. Strength in the upright, and you're gonna need that very individual pathway the abilities, your skills, your sense of self to navigate this, because it is a lot of external influence. You're going to need that. Your individual needs and tools are going to need to be there. Understanding, and this is why we have the Seven of Swords here, understanding how things are impacting you, and know that it's not going to be, oh, well, right now, or like this today, I feel this and I'm going to need this. It is going to be a more of a fluid thing because of the multi-layers, multi-challenges we're dealing with. So having a variety of tools, a variety of solutions, and, well, it feels like moving parts, honestly, in play at the same time is a good idea. Making sure that you know where you're functioning from so that you can make sure that you are staying in control of you, using that third eye thinking center, that frontal part of your brain, to create and to problem solve. You'll need it all. We have the Mother of Cups or the Queen of Cups because she is the most creative card in the deck. Is it going to be something that we're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that? No, it's going to be something that we're going to have to set some intention and be very intentional to gravitate towards, to access. Again, going back to that very individual plan. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Mother of Pentacles. She talks about the stability, the groundedness, but more importantly, we have the duality, here we go, duality of compassion and nurturing. The cups, yes, we have creativity, but we also have that emotion, that empathy. Understanding that not everybody is going to be trying to harm or hurt you, or that and we'll do this because we're humans, we're going to jump to worst case scenario, giving them the benefit of the doubt, not always excusing, but saying, okay, I know they're struggling. I'm going to I'm going to let that roll a little bit, and I'm going to check into how I can support them. Or yes, they're freaking out at me. I'm not going to bark back at them. I'm going to use my head, create a solution, and have compassion and understanding that they're struggling and that I'm not going to fall into their trap. And having the compassion and nurturing for self, because things are fluid. They are in movement. We need to make sure that we are being compassionate to self. If you're having a hard time and need to take a break, need to just decompress a little bit, do that. Understand that it's not going to be easy, and this time of year is never easy, whether it be through other people's choices or experiences that we've had. Having that nurture and compassion for self will go a long way to keeping you on your toes and keeping you on your feet rather than putting your head between your knees and crying. Now, one of the ways to help to decompress a bit, and it's a quick, easy tool, run your hands underwater and breathe. The water will help to clear the energies, and that time away from whatever experience it is will help. Additionally, if you've been in a situation, work, school, shopping, driving, whatever, if it's too much and you're feeling it really heavy physically, emotionally, or spiritually, take a quick shower. Kick it up a notch and make it an intentional shower, where you're asking any and all high vibrational beings to support you in dumping what you don't need. Take your shower. If you have a little bit of extra time, you can also make it a bath. That contact with water helps. Now, the Eight of Wands is in reversal to remind you not to avoid. Do not turtle, do not cocoon yourself, do not try to avoid because it's hard. You do that, and you're causing yourself more challenges because you're pretty much putting your head in the sand and putting your butt in the air. And what's going to happen? Well, the universe is going to yeet you forward because you're not doing. You're avoiding. And avoidance brings in the tower. We get called on it, especially if we've been avoiding or struggling. So using your skills, using your abilities, accessing your tools and supports. Yes, it may be hard to communicate. That doesn't mean we avoid communication. It just means that we check in. We need to use our words. We need to ask for the help that we need. So when you're in a conversation with somebody, you can say, hey, I know there's a lot going on. I want to make sure I know we're on the same page. This is what I heard you say. That clarification can help. Again, it talks about using your head and tools, supports, making sure that you are that active participant, which is why we have complacency. I'm flipping this card around and I'm like, I should have just turned the card over. We can't just avoid. We just can't watch the world go by because, well, the universe will yeet us into the snow. Also, our mental health will start to slide because we're missing out. That compassion, that empathy for self, and acknowledging that you are worth this. This is your journey, and that you need to make it as fulfilling and meaningful as you can for you. And I should say before I get going, I forgot to mention the world. Things are, and I said this before I even started, this too shall pass. It may feel like it's slow and snail-like. However, it is changing. Things are coming to that conclusion. Not only for us for the calendar year, not only for the retrogrades, but also for a lot of aspects. Because we're dealing with a lot. We're multidimensional, multifaceted being, so there's a lot in play. I wanted to say that and I forgot because I got sidetracked. Service. Not so much that you have to necessarily add more to your plate. I think this is more of that recognition and recognizing the past, recognizing the traditions, the positive that not only people, but the seasons that we're coming into, because obviously Thanksgiving for my American friends is Thursday. Lots of really positive things. Acknowledging what's come from before us, acknowledging all the hard work, acknowledging that abundance. Because again, this is not just a one experience thing. There's a lot in play, especially right now. Sometimes the retrogrades hit and it's just like, okay, it's May. Okay, great. It sucks because it's Gemini, but well, whatever. We'll roll through this. But because we're looking at a time where a lot of people get together, there's a lot of celebrations in a lot of different cultures, and that connection is very predominant. It impacts us in a lot of ways. Now, fortunately, Mercury is only in retrograde till December 15th. However, it may be hard to feel that energy shift if you're very empathetic, because it's going direct during the last week, like full week before the big holiday week. So it may be hard to pinpoint. You may want to intentionally shift your energies within and around your space, because it's, like I said, it's going to be hard to identify because there's so much in play. I love it. The Fool. 0 card in the major arcana. The Ace of Pentacles in reversal. The Two of Swords, sorry. The Daughter of Swords. The Page of Swords. Now, before I get going, I don't think I identified that we do have the 2 queens here, or the mothers. They're the 13th card in the minor arcana. that 13th multiple, the angels are telling you to quiet your mind so that you can listen to your intuition. All right. So the Daughter of Swords and the Two of Swords talk about the same idea. I'd mentioned this before. We need to use our head and we need to think outside the box. Again, that very individual pathway. Because doing the same thing and expecting a different result, it's not going to happen. So exploring and having that critical thinking where you're asking those questions and being mindful, again, checking in to the way that you're responding, that you're staying in the positive rather than getting hypercritical about self. Critical thinking asks you to think outside the box. Being critical of self, well, it's going to add to the heaviness, the disconnection. We don't want that. And know that, yes, there are decisions to make. There's going to be a lot of things in play. Slow it down so you can think things through. There's a lot of different pieces starting to emerge, a lot of different aspects coming forward. When we slow things down, we're going to find that we can problem solve and create better than trying to react and push through quickly. And the Fool reminds us to follow that pathway wherever it's going to take you and find the joy, find the color, find the fulfillment. Trusting in yourself, trusting in the universe. Rather than going to worst case scenario, look at the cup full rather than, well, empty. There's a lot of things that you can achieve during any retrograde because you have a very large and in charge energy, not so large and in charge. These new pieces are going to come forward. They're going to be harder to see because they're softer, quieter. However, when we are in control of self and problem solving and creating and looking at things through a positive light, you're going to see them. And you can start to take that avenue less taken and see things from a different perspective. See opportunities, see abundance come forward. Because we are getting into the month of miracles and manifestation. And we need to embrace that. I want to thank you guys for joining me today and exploring Mercury in retrograde. Yeah, we don't enjoy it. However, it is what it is. We can find the positive, find those things that are going to support us rather than take away. If you did like this reading, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you're most excited for. Let me know what the rainbow in color is for you. And if you haven't done so, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little red bell. I've got so much more coming forward. You don't want to miss it because, well, Mars is in retrograde. Yeah, I got a reading for that. Or I will have a reading for that. Also, if you're looking for an added layer of support, I do have a Patreon page. I provided a link below so you can go check it out. Again, I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and exploring what you can expect from Mercury in retrograde. Until tomorrow, my friends.